In the demonstration, we're going to go to Wix.com, and assuming you've already created your account, you can sign in. And certainly, if you haven't created an account yet, you can go ahead and sign up there. Just enter your credentials and then log in. And when you get here, it's going to ask you to create a site. You have a couple of options here. I recommend, for simplicity, there's lots of designs, but I just go straight to other. And instead of having them create a website for you, I went ahead and do the choose a template option. Again, there's lots of different styles here. Feel free to pick one that suits you. I recommend keeping it professional. And in fact, for right now, I'm going to recommend doing a blank template that you can always clean up and add images and flair to later. So I'm actually going to start with the strip header layout. That seems to be the most appropriate, at least for the Leadership Foundation's Lessons in Leadership assignment that is coming due. So we'll give it just a minute to create the new site for you. Okay, and when you get in here, bear in mind that this is the name of the site, and this banner acts as a header. It's going to show up throughout all of your pages. So right now, this shows that you're on the home screen. There are several other options: about, services, gallery, contact. I would avoid those for now. This is the main landing page, so I went ahead and called this Organizational Leadership e-Portfolio. I wouldn't spend a lot of time here. This is something you can always come back later after you're done creating your entire e-portfolio and clean this up. I'm just going to add some text in here now just because I'm creating a sample. This is where you might enter a brief intro, maybe your name and your degrees, etc. Again, it's a landing page. This isn't specific to the Lessons of Leadership assignment. But this will help you, if you haven't already done so, to just go ahead and start to create the e-portfolio site itself. Again, over here on the right, you can add some narrative here. I wouldn't spend a lot of time. After you're done completing the entire e-portfolio, you can always come back here and summarize or add personal information here. So again, I'm just populating this just with some sample stuff, just so that you can understand. And this sample is published out in Pilot so that you can look at it and see what it kind of looks like. As you move forward with the e-portfolio and you begin populating with other classes, it'll become more clear what you'll want to put in here. And all I'm doing is just replacing text. You can just delete what's in there and type whatever you like, just to fill that space in. Now this bottom image down here at the bottom, that might be a good place to add a profile picture, something of yourself. Again, I wouldn't worry about it right now. This is just the home page for your entire e-portfolio. And I'm just going to go ahead and add some background stuff just to make it pretty. This is not a requirement for the assignment, but eventually, when you're ready to have this thing be polished and be able to send it to, prospective employers perhaps, or maybe to graduate school if that's your choice, you'll want to make this appropriate for the audience that you intend. Okay, now you can buy Shutterstock images if you want. Most of us are on tight budgets as students and adjunct faculty, so we'll probably steer away from paying for images when we can go get free stuff from Google. Wix even has some canned images here, so you can grab one if you want. This kind of thing is not a requirement for the assignment, so I'm just doing a demonstration here just to show you how it's done. I wouldn't spend a lot of time in there. Now, the fastest way to create content, and you'll have tabs in here for all of your pages, is to just duplicate that home page. Now, you can always go out and just create a new page entirely from scratch using a different design, but I've found for simplicity, it's simpler to create the content that you want in the home page, and then for consistency, you can create additional tabs. So I duplicated the home page. I called it OL 3020 Leadership Foundations. You can see along the navigation there along the top that's one of them. And then you'll end up having 6 of these, one for all of your OL courses. So we're just doing the OL 3020 tab for right now. So this is just the one tab or the one page within your entire ePortfolio site. And this is the page where you're going to do your Lessons of Leadership assignment. So this is the page that you want to focus on. You can go ahead and create the other 5 tabs for the other courses that you need. All that information is in the document in the course resources in Pilot, and it talks about kind of the ePortfolio as a whole and the expectations there. So I'm just populating this with some samples. We're going to use John Patterson as the sample. I recommend here that you type up your work just like you were doing it in a Word document as if you were going to turn it in, and then copy and paste it in here. You're welcome to type if you like in there as well. There is a requirement for this assignment that you have an image posted. So here's where you would place that image. I already have some images uploaded, but yours will probably be blank. So you'll want to upload an image. So you'll go out to your desktop or wherever, whatever folder where you've downloaded an image of your person that you're going to highlight in your assignment. So there I've inserted the picture of John Patterson at NCR. So now we've met most of the requirements here. Please do not forget on all assignments, whether they're turned in or whether they're presentational or whether they're on websites, you always have to list the references. So please don't forget in APA format to list references. So assuming we've got all of the assignment requirements met here, we've picked someone from our hometown, we've uploaded an image, and we've met the requirements for the written portion. Now we're ready to publish. So you can take a look at the preview, and you can actually preview what this would look like on a mobile device as well. If you look up in the upper left there, you can click on the little what looks like a mobile phone to see what it would look like on a mobile device. But this is just a preview. So we go back to the editor, and now if we're ready to publish, it's going to make you save first anyway, so you might as well just go to the save. And here's where you're going to give a name. I would be careful with this. I would keep it generic, call it ePortfolio, or maybe use your last name and then ePortfolio. This is going to be something that eventually you're going to share with prospective employees or other faculty, so keep it professional. Don't use cutesy little nicknames and anything that's inappropriate. So just be careful here. I'm calling mine ePortfolio Sample. Okay, then I hit save. Okay, now it says, okay, it's saved. Would you like to publish? And yes, it is important that you publish. It has to be published so that you can share the URL with your instructor and or your teaching assistant. So now the site's been published, and this is what your site will finally look like. So this is, remember, this is the home page that we created at first. So to go to the Lessons of Leadership for the assignment, you'll want to go in here and look at that tab and just make sure everything looks correct. Don't worry too much about formatting or if things are off center or if you don't like the image. The only image that you're going to be graded on is ensuring that you have an image of the person that you've studied. So, okay. So now you've gone to the site, you've checked everything out, you've checked that it's published. Okay, so now let's say you want to start from scratch. Well, if you go to My Dashboard, that shows all the sites that you have published. And if you wanted to from in here, there's a couple of things you can do in the dashboard. So first of all, from right there, right under where it says ePortfolio Sample, you can copy that, and that's what you can send in the email, in the instructions for the Lessons of Leadership. You're going to copy that URL and send it to myself and the TA, Christine, so that we can grade it. Another option here is if you just want to start from scratch, you can delete the entire site. It doesn't delete your account, but it will delete everything on the site. I believe it'll keep any uploaded images that you have in the image storage because that's tied to your account, but it will, you can just start entirely from scratch if you like. And you can log out and you're done.